Hey everybody, this is Alex Merced, and welcome to this first video in my basically basics of just using AI for productivity course. And this is just going to be introducing you to the different tools that are out there that you can at least have a free tier on when it comes to just working with AI. So this is generally a great place to start when it comes to just learning how to work with AI. And most of these are going to have a variety of tools that are going to make your life a lot easier as you learn how to use them, and that's going to be the purpose of this course. So first off, it's going to be, of course, ChatGPT. Okay, so I'm going to head off to ChatGPT. That's chatgpt.com. And yeah, there's a free account. Now, again, I generally have paid accounts on the main ones here. I'll kind of go through that. So you might see features that you may not have on the screen, but I'll try to be clear about that as much as I can as I go through. But the bottom line is essentially here you have ChatGPT. And again, the main thing you're going to get, like if you're just new to leveraging AI, the first thing you're going to have is your chat bot. Okay, meaning I have an interface where I can interface with the AI via chat. It's not the only way you can interface with the AI, but it's generally going to be the primary initial way you'll do so. So at the most simplest, the first thing you're going to be doing is just asking questions. So like, hey, what is the history of Mount Rushmore? Okay, and we'll get more into sort of prompting, meaning how do I best ask questions later on. Right now, I'm just kind of introducing how these tools work. Okay, and see now it got back to me with some pictures, and now it's typing up the history, and I can go back and forth and then ask follow-up questions to dive deeper into that history. Now, of course, you might have heard of something called hallucinations, where sometimes when you ask particular questions, like in this case, this is should be a very well documented piece of history. So in this case, probably this answer is going to be pretty authentic. But a lot of times you're going to be asking questions about more current events, about things where the facts are still changing, like a lot of times like the latest in medicine and science and whatnot, or things that just might not have a lot of information that it was trained on, and you'll get it to say things that are just not factually correct or just completely made up. These are referred to as hallucinations. So always keep in mind that that is a possibility when working with AI. There's a lot of strategies and how to reduce the number of these hallucinations. These are things I'll cover throughout this course. But again, this is just kind of introducing you to these tools. So this is ChatGPT. There is DeepSeek. So if you want to go to DeepSeek, it's chat.deepseek.com. Again, free tiers on all of these services. Okay. Now there'll be so of these models, like the main three. This is not one of the main three. So Chat GPT is one of the main three. DeepSeek is one of two Chinese models that I'll be covering. Okay. Now some people have expressed concerns of sometimes of whether their information is actually private when using one of these Chinese models. If you're worried, use a alternative email. Okay, they're both going to require you to use some sort of Gmail account. So just have a non-main Gmail account that you use where you don't have like your personal calendar and all your other stuff in. If you are concerned about privacy, and that can go for all of these services. Okay, if you're concerned about these services using all of your other information, then just use a different Gmail account. Otherwise, you can ignore everything I just said. Okay. Then there's Ernie. That's going to be the other Chinese model. You can get that to at ernie.baidu.com. Okay, this is a newer one that's hit the scene. At least, well, I wouldn't say newer, but its newest version is Ernie 5.0 has just hit the scene. Okay, and basically, let me talk about that. So while you have the chat interface allows you to work with sometimes different models from that provider. Each model was trained maybe differently, trained on different information, so you might get slightly different results from different models using the same interface. So that's just something to be aware of. Okay, so like see right here, right now I'm using Ernie 4.5 Turbo. There's all these other models. Again, each of them, how they were built, again, not particularly important right now, but how they were built may be different. So again, the results will be different. But let's see here. If I ask the same question here, I said, okay, give me the history of Mount Rushmore. Okay. And see, this one's doing immediately. Nowadays, all of them have access to web. Back in the day, they didn't have access to web, so you were at the mercy of what they knew and what you could provide the chat. And sometimes, if you're like doing research, sometimes it's good. Again, this was referred to as context, the idea of like information you provide the chatbot to shape how they create their answer and how they seek information. Again, this is just a simple historical question. So again, it's going to give you mostly the same stuff, maybe worded differently because again, different model. But generally, you're seeing the same idea. Okay. Then if you have a Twitter account, okay, with or a X account, you do get free access to this model called Grok. Okay, I generally have a paid account for all of these, so you're going to see sort of different results. But again, there's Grok. Generally, again, works the same way. What is the history of Mount Rushmore? Okay, and again, the way these different models work can be different. The main thing I will point out now is that there's just your normal chat models, which just respond. Then there's like thinking and reasoning models. These models don't just respond, they oftentimes have a conversation with themselves where they're going to ask themselves, okay, well, what is this question? And then they're going to respond to themselves and kind of have a conversation to kind of better understand your question and shape your answer. Those will oftentimes take a lot longer, not a lot longer nowadays, but longer to answer your questions. But for very complex questions, they may be really good for getting better, more accurate answers. Again, for like straight historical questions that are not going to change all that much and probably haven't changed all that much in a long time, you're going to be fine just asking the question pretty much straightforward. Okay, and again, different ones are going to give you sort of different levels of detail. Now, of the three that I consider the big three, Gemini is the other one. Actually, Gemini has probably become more of my main tool as of late, especially after December 2025. Okay, and again, this is the one from Google. So if you have a Gmail account, this is built into your Gmail account. Works the same way. Again, each of them have their own little nuance of additional tools, but I'll give those dedicated videos. And then the last one I'm going to mention is another one of the big three is Claude.ai. And again, you get a chat interface. So the chat interface is always going to be the most basic way to interact with it. And the chat interface is going to be great, not just for asking like questions of things you want to know, but helping like or write. So say, hey, can you write me an email and responding to this in this context? Doing research. Some of these are going to have a feature called deep research. Again, these are all these types of extra features I'll kind of get into in more depth in future videos. Um, they're going to be great for sometimes generating images, generating videos, but also, again, creating things. But oftentimes, how well they are at creating things are going to be very reliant on how you prompt them, meaning how you ask them to create things. Okay, if you just say a one sentence, can you write me a blog on cheese? It'll write you a blog on cheese. Like I can do that. Write me a blog on cheese. Okay, and it's going to do so. But again, is this exactly what I had in mind? Is it in my own personal writing style? Is it telling the story that I want to tell? Very unlikely because I didn't really give it any other context to kind of shape what it is. So those are all going to be things we're going to want to learn better how to do in the future, like how to give it the perspective of like, hey, not just write a thing, but write it as who, with what style, with what purpose, what questions am I trying to answer, what additional information should I pull in there. These are all going to be important things if you want to get sort of outcomes. And also, there's going to be things like, for example, all of these AI models have a tendency of overusing M dashes. Okay, so oftentimes, if you don't want necessarily people to just kind of look at your written work and be like, "Oh, that was all AI generated," oftentimes you're going to care about knowing about these like sort of giveaways of sort of AI default AI writing style and make sure that it models your particular writing style. And we'll talk about how you can achieve that. So those are the tools. So again, you have ChatGPT, DeepSeek, Ernie, Grok, Google, aka Gemini, and Claude. All of these you can sign up for free. I recommend signing up for all of them. So you have them all. All of them can be on your app. The only one that doesn't have like a dedicated mobile app if you're in English is Ernie. So what I've done, but Ernie can't. This web page can be installed as a progressive web app, which means you can actually like install it with like a little app icon on your phone just by visiting the website. So, but otherwise, all of these do have a phone app, so you can use them. And honestly, I use these all the time. Anytime I have just the littlest question, I will run it through one or two of these to just get it. And that's generally going to be the first sort of iteration of you getting acclimated with using the AI tools. Is just learning how to ask questions, okay, and asking questions and just seeing the answers you get and getting comfortable with doing that. So just using it as versus saying, hey, I want to go Google a website that maybe has part of the story, using this to kind of help gather all that information. This definitely has been changing how people use the web as a whole. But the first step in changing how it changes your life is just getting used to that seeking information. And then we'll get into more of the creation aspect of it. So I'll see y'all later. Have a great day and enjoy. My name is Alex Merced. AlexMerced.com is the website. If you enjoyed this video, please do hit that like button, subscribe. I'll be doing a whole bunch of these, so you don't want to miss them. Ciao.